So she says.
So she says. All right. All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Tribunal of the Grid, where we talk about all things Power Rangers, including the actors that play them. My name is Brandon.
My name is Lena.
And my name is Will.
And today, look at Will jumping in. Right? All right. No extra breaks. No 10-second break before you say your name. All right, what's it? All right. Because
Brennan, if you can hear this, you got cut out.
Some unfortunate, sad news.
Brennan?
Huh? What's up?
You got cut out after you said no more 10-second break with Will, and then you completely went silent.
For 10 seconds.
Yeah, for 10 seconds.
For 10 seconds? Oh, shit. All right.
Wow. See, you
have
to
the shade.
to make up the fact that Will didn't take a 10-second break.
Right. Oh, the shade. Get me together.
I'm keeping
gathered. Okay, please do. Because I need the world to see how quickly karma came and got me right together. But I'm sitting here trying to throw shade. And karma said, bitch, gotcha. But
oh, that was great. That was funny.
But we're just gonna be talking some comics, some unfortunate, sad stuff, you know. I mean, not that the comics are sad, but some, sad stuff that are happening around the comics.
I mean, the comics were pretty sad too. There was a lot of death. And a lot more death to come. Like that, it was pretty sad in itself too, for sure. Mm.
It is. That is a good point. I mean, the comics do recognize that anyone can get it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
please don't say who. Please don't say who. I didn't read it yet.
No, either have I.
What are you talking about? I'm talking about what we got so far.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I know that there's a funeral coming up. And I'm not sure if it was in the latest or not. Okay.
No, okay. I'm not trying to spoil. Listen, I'm not spoiling anything. Like, I'm not going to do that. But, but I'm just saying in the past, as we've seen, people can get it. Like, people was getting killed off left and right, so it's like, all right now, these teams.
Right? Or being split in half, like, holy moly.
Okay.
Like that was some what is it? Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre shit. Like
no, for real. Or either have you seen the beginning of The Hills Have Eyes?
Oh my god.
No, not The Hills Have Eyes. Wrong Turn.
Oh god.
It's Wrong Turn, I believe.
No.
I think it was that part where homegirl was like in the middle of the street and then them ugly ass things came and cut her in half. And it was like the first 10 minutes of the movie, like not even first 10 minutes, maybe like first 5, something like that. Like it's like the opening scene.
Faith from Buffy's in there, right?
Yes,
I believe so. Yes.
Surprisingly, I've never seen that before.
Really?
Yeah, it's nasty.
It's very nasty.
It's the
and didn't and whatchamacallit, not whatchamacallit, we love her. I love her.
Who's whatchamacallit?
Erin Cahill. She was in one of the sequels to that, right?
There was a sequel?
It was 3.
Oh,
child, don't make me lie. I don't remember.
I don't remember. Honestly, I stopped after the first one because I both know everything after the first one never works out. Like remember, like the I Know What You Did Last Summer. After the second one,
oh my god,
the third one was like a brand new cast and like whatever. Now they still have another one. They have a series. Like I don't even know. All I know is that you know what, the originals were fine. Maybe a sequel was fine. The rest, anything with the original cast is fine. But obviously, in Wrong Turn, you can't have an original cast because they all die.
Well, right? They all died.
Yeah.
So, but child,
except for Brandy.
Disgusting. Oh well, yeah, Brandy survived.
Wait.
Brandy was in the sequel, right? For wrong turn. For I know how you did. I know how you did. I know what you did last summer.
Wow. Can I please just say a Black woman survived not being killed?
Right.
I'm
I
just
used to love
saying.
that movie when I was little.
I don't know why.
Right?
Brandy was in it.
No.
That's the reason.
Like,
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know. Now I watched it again. I'm like, what was so good about this movie?
Seriously.
It wasn't.
There's nothing good about it.
I mean, the first one wasn't really either. The best thing about that was Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Sarah Michelle Gellar. I was literally about to say that was the best.
Well,
part,
her
I'm gonna tell you right now.
her in general.
But like, I have never in my life rooted for someone as hard as I rooted for Sarah Michelle Gellar in that goddamn movie. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I was screaming and I was like, "Run, girl! You better run for your goddamn life! Run, girl!" And
that was just like she earned like surviving that, and then
she did. And I'm like, and then as soon as she got to that parade, I'm like, "Girl, keep running, girl, keep running." And she stopped, and I'm like, "No."
He showed up behind her, so like she still would have got it.
But the thing is, if she would have ran into the band, you know what I'm saying?
Somebody would have saw her. Maybe.
Somebody would have saw her. You know what I'm saying? But she's had to stop. And I'm like, girl.
You know she had to stop because she's white.
Oh.
Need I say more? Like
good point. But because the way I show was, listen. I'm gonna tell you right now, the way I would have been running into that band, knocking over them tuba players, like move.
Exactly. That would be me too. Like I'd be running to a crowd, people, not away from them or stop.
Not away from them. I'm like, oh God, no. But of course, she had to die. So it's like, God damn it. But we're not talking about horror movies, obviously.
Real quick. I was wrong about Wrong Turn 3 with Erin. She actually was in Boogeyman 3. My bad.
So she was in a horror movie, but just not that one. Listen, we did an After Power. What was it? After the Power horror. And I know Erin Cahill was like in a shit ton of horror movies. So I'm just like, between her and Serena Vincent, I'm like, Lord.
Them too. And it's kind of crazy to think that like we never knew, like I'm not sure about you guys, but like obviously she was in movies way before she was on Power Rangers. And I remember thinking like, wow, I've been watching her this whole time. And I never noticed it was her until like later on. And the one thing I will say about her is that like she's such a chameleon. Like she blends in so well in all her movies that unless you know who she is, you don't actually pick up that it's her. If that makes sense. Like she's not a bad actress, obviously, but like she just blends in so well. Just so well.
And the thing is, we're talking about which one? Erin Cahill, right?
Yeah, Erin Cahill, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, she's in movies, TV shows, like, because she did, I want to say she was in the show 911, I want to say. And I didn't even recognize it was even her. I was like, oh.
I wouldn't be surprised actually it wasn't 911 because she's literally in everything. Everything mainstream, she's been in it.
Yeah.
Like everything. So I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, that's just it. Like she does so well that you don't recognize her, like, and she doesn't have like a basic look either. Like she's got a very like signature look to her, but you don't pick up that it's her right away. Like even I remember like I saw Boogeyman 3 in theaters. It never once dawned on me.
In theaters.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. It never dawned on me that was her until years later when I did After the Power Horror. I was like, wait a second, she's in Boogeyman 3? What?
Yeah, when I used to work at Walmart, I was in electronics and I saw the DVD cover and then I was like, oh my God, Jen! I just never watched it.
Wow.
I did. You're not missing out. Honestly, you're not. It's okay. You're not missing out. I just remember thinking, I still can't believe I saw it because when I saw her in it, when I did After the Power Horror, I obviously looked up the trailer and I was like, holy shit, I've seen this movie. I didn't recognize it was her the whole time. Holy moly. Okay there, girl.
Sheesh. Child.
Okay there.
Well, listen, like I said, between her and Serena, it's just like them two are just like the screen queens. But I do feel like Erin is the type that she just knows how to just like do everything to the point where it's just like, you know, 1 minute she can be in somebody's Hallmark movie and the next minute she running for her life like Jessica Biel. I'm just like,
Right?
what is going on?
What is going on? And I just want to say before we finally move on, I thoroughly love the fact that she actually remembers the characters that she played. Like I remember,
she does.
Yeah, I remember meeting her. She was like, I played Alina, I played this, and then she like listed off, right? And I'm like, wow, you actually remember? And then obviously there are other actors where you'd be like, oh, like I loved you in this, and they're kind of confused as to what we're even talking about. Like they forgot they were even in that.
Well, shit, like to be truthfully honest with you, I mean, we can even use that to Power Rangers, you know, like the older cast members, like, you know. And I'm not, listen, I am not trying to be one of them fans that's like, remember on episode 96 when you did X, Y? No, we're not talking about that.
No,
but
definitely not.
but we do like have those moments where some of the actors sometimes do forget certain things. I mean, we've seen it, like, you know, they forget like major things about their characters, not specific episode things, but like actual things about their characters, where it's like, damn. But when you think about it, it's like, I mean, they did it and they just completely 9 times out of 10 trauma, right? Because Saban was not a nice person to work with at that time. So, you know, it's like, you know, with all the drama, it's like easily I could have forgotten, you know, what my character did, or, you know, like what they wore, or, you know, whatever. I can just only remember the horrible shit that happened to me.
Not even just that though, too. Like a lot of people forget. It was just a job for them.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, exactly. Like, they showed up, they got in character, they did their scenes, they did the parts, and they left. Like,
and they left.
Right? It's not like okay. The perfect example I could use is like Yoshi and his brother, Peter. Like they're probably the only two that I know of. And obviously you guys can like, you know, jump in and list more people that it's genuinely fans of the show, that actually knows the ins and the outs of the show, that actually knows every single little thing about the show, more than we probably even do. I know Yoshi watches all the Super Sentai stuff too. So it's like, unless you get a hardcore fan like that, the rest of the people that auditioned and got the part, they simply just got it because it was a job. And it's nothing wrong with that. You know? So I don't expect them to remember either. And aside from the trauma.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, you know, because we've heard the horror stories, because it's like between Nakia and the hair burning, you know, like,
or like,
you know,
that's
or
not
people getting fined,
or like well, her and her makeup situation too, remember, and her wardrobe.
Well, yeah,
we can go on. Or her, I think his name was Jorge from Power Rangers Ninja Storm. His head was like cracked open on a motorcycle. He had a head injury.
Oh yeah, him. Yeah, Jorge with the head injury. Yeah, like it's just wild shit. Like, so it's, you know, listen, like just terrible stuff. So of course people remember that shit, but
but they don't want to remember,
right? You know. So hey, so of course they probably would remember certain things about their characters, but you know, it is what it is.
It's true.
But it is special when they, like Erin, remember like, oh, I was this character and I did this and I did that, you know. So that's really dope.
And it wasn't asked of her, by the way. Like it was a conversation I got into with her, and I guess she just asked for my name, and that's how it started.
Okay.
Which is even cuter. It wasn't like, just so y'all, you know, are clear. It wasn't like I went up to her and go, do you remember the scene from X, Y, and Z in this movie where you play? No, that was not me. Absolutely right. Not.
But you know, it you know, hey, like these actors obviously, you know, they, like you said, they do a whole bunch of roles and then they just, you know, they leave them and that's it. So it is special when they remember, you know, what they've done. So, I mean, hats off to her because, like, I don't even have nearly the roster, and I can't even tell you half the people I done played. So, you know, I get it.
Right. I mean, heck, I don't remember what happened yesterday. So.
Okay. Hello.
Right. So shout out to you, Aaron KO, for remembering all your most of your characters.
You. Okay. So yeah. But yeah, like, so speaking of shouts out, so let's go ahead and get into this news, right? Let's go ahead and get into this tea. Because it's some sad stuff.
I mean, okay, first of all, I just want to be clear. It's partly sad, but partly not sad. And Brennan will tell you why.
Well, it's sad to me. It's sad to me because, you know, this, you know, let's just go ahead and get right into it. So, of course, you know, as you know, we read the comics on the show because, you know, the comics are fab. Mm-hmm. They are fab.
They are.
And, you know, we read them and we talk about them and everything. Well, a certain someone who had been with the comics world for 6 years, almost a decade.
Crazy.
Basically, it's crazy. Like, he literally shaped the whole PR universe. Like, literally. Like, absolutely. Pretty much shaped it.
He shaped it. He gave it a whole new name. He gave it a whole new meaning. Like, and just
seriously,
just really giving all these characters the true spotlight they all deserve. Like,
they all deserve
spotlight. You know, like, oh my god, just absolutely amazing, and just giving, not even just giving the fans what we want, because we didn't even know what we wanted. Like, what he gave us was more than we could grasp. We're like, what?
Seriously.
This is happening. This is a thing.
Oh, this is a thing.
Right.
And the gag is what's so crazy. And we're talking about Ryan Perry, y'all, by the way. But the gag is Ryan took the same characters that we knew and loved and, you know, and just gave them almost kind of like revised them, but at the same time kept the most important parts about them. So that it felt like they were like Gen Zers, but the same people just born like in the 2000s, basically. Like, that's literally what they felt like. They felt like the same people just born in like 2001, you know? So it's just like, he just, oh my God, like the main person I can think about is Trini. Because Trini was one of the only characters in the show who really didn't get jack shit to do. Like, she was one of the only ones. And then, you know, we look at the comics and Trini is basically running shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, homegirl is running shit. She is out here getting people together. She kicked Kaya ass. I mean, she kicked her neck and her back. I'm just like, listen, Trini is out here slaying. And, you know, we would have never seen that on the show. You know, so it's just like he gave these characters so much meat and depth. I mean, even created characters so that, you know, so that he could like maximize the potential of the ones that we already had. I'm looking at you, Matt, with Kimberly, you know, so it's just, I just love Ryan. I love you, Ryan. You are fucking amazing.
And the other thing is, like, I really appreciate too, is that now obviously I'm sure he probably fact checked, but he nailed the whole Gen Z thing so well.
Mm-hmm.
So well.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
oh yeah,
you know, like each character nailed it with the whole Gen Z thing, you know? It's just,
I mean, they felt like kids of today. Like, they really did.
They really
felt like teenagers like, of like,
both in school with their
like,
YouTube channel, you know, like, what?
Yeah, right. Because that's something, those characters specifically, that is something that they totally would have done.
Well, no,
like they totally would have done that.
And also remember how they used to have a camera? They used to go around trying to capture it too. And obviously the fact that we didn't have internet, so it wasn't like they could live stream it. But I love the fact that like they're still doing that, but for YouTube. And it's like, wow.
Right.
That was a great caption. Wow.
It's just, I just love that man. Just love him. Well, as we know, he is leaving us. He is leaving the fandom. And we should have saw it coming. We should have saw it coming because when he said, "Oh, I'm leaving. I'm gonna stop doing Mighty Morphin after a certain point and just focus on Power Rangers," that should have been the red flag right there. But I mean, we're just like, well, we're just happy to have you. So you keep on. You keep on. And now it's, well, I'm also leaving after issue 100 too. And it's like, God damn it.
Yeah. Well, I feel like when he said that, it was kind of like a hint. And I think at some point, now correct me if I'm wrong, he also removed Power Rangers off of his like Twitter or Insta bio. Was that him?
No, that was Jonathan Entwistle.
Okay, I'm getting them confused. Sorry. But yeah. I was gonna say if he did do that, that was also another like, hey, hint, nudge, nudge, but I guess not.
Nah, I mean Ryan, he still has it. He still has Mighty Morphin and all that on his page. But it's just like damn, like, dude, like we're gonna miss you, man. But it also basically, is coming up, as we already know, issue 100 is coming. And, he had this to say. So he says, "Hi, everyone. So today I can confirm that Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 100 will be my final issue on the monthly series. It's been an unbelievable 6 years, and I am proud of all the people and the work we've been a part of. It's truly changed my life. Does this mean I'll never tell another Ranger story again? We'll see. But this felt like the right time to step away. So thank you all. Thank you to all the readers. It's truly been an honor to be a part of this amazing community. Until next time." So it's like, oh, damn. So, what do you think? What do you think about this?
Oh, I mean, that is some, what? I can't even say it was heavy news because like you mentioned before, it was sort of hinted at us for a while, and like everyone else, at some point, the end of the chapter has to come and a brand new one has to start, So as sad as it may seem for us, I'm sure he's on to bigger projects, like much bigger projects or
oh, for sure,
something crazier, So at the end of the day, you know what? We wish him all the best. I wish him all the best. And you know what? Until we meet again.
Yeah. Good point. Will, you got anything? Or you just, what's going on? Is he here?
Did you mute yourself, Will? Because I can't tell.
Yeah, hello? He's muted.
Hello?
Hi.
Yeah, hi.
How did that happen? Like, I'm talking this whole time.
Oh
my God, Will. Oh, you're
okay.
Too
Sorry about that.
No worries.
Yes. Oh gosh, this is he's done so much. Like the following the steps of Kyle Higgins, who like opened all this up for us. The stuff that Ryan did with Go-Go, like you said before, just adding so much depth to the individual characters, like the civilian characters, and not just the civilian characters, backstory for Rita and for Zed, and for Zordon. It's been such a really, really fun ride. Even before this, when he did the aftershock for the continuation of the 2017 movie, that was a lot of fun as well. I'm so grateful for the work that he's done, and it's so much fun. Like, I can't even I can't even put it into words. Like he'll definitely be missed.
The Aftershock, you mentioned Aftershock, which I do feel like does not get enough love. Dead ass. Like I just don't think that Aftershock got as much love as it should have. Aftershock was a phenomenal comic, and it opened doors to like things that I definitely think that Power Rangers in general should focus on, like one of the things I loved the most about Aftershock was the fact that there was like an organization, like this, secret organization. I don't know what, like they were supposed to be like the CIA, but they weren't, like they just popped up out of nowhere and was like, we're investigating this, this supernatural shit. And, they're like, we got our eyes on you, Power Rangers, so it's just like, I would love to see something like that in Power Rangers, so, Aftershock just like really did like some really cool things that I wish, we could have gotten a movie, to kind of like push this stuff along. But hey, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, Ryan was phenomenal. Go ahead.
And I forgot he did the Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And I mean, he just did so much, like just so much stuff. So it's just like, damn, dude, like, I don't know if we're ever like, I don't know if we're gonna get anybody that's gonna be like that crafty. I mean, I'm hoping we do.
Knock on wood.
I'm seriously like, I'm really hoping that we do. I'm hoping that we get someone that is like just as crafty, or even better. But that man, just the way he set up the whole comic, especially with Go-Go, because I'm telling you right now, Go-Go to me is like my favorite out of like all of them. Like his version of Go-Go is like, not his version, but like Go-Go, just his whole run was like my favorite. Like that whole thing with like Alpha 1? Yeah, like I'm still wanting Alpha 1 to come back at some point. Like I want Alpha 1 to come back. Please bring him back. Bring him back.
Open-ended.
It really is. It really is open-ended. So I'm just like, I would love to see Alpha 1 come back. And face off against the new Rangers, with Aisha, Rocky, and Adam. Like, but whatever. It is what it is. So yeah, you will be missed, but so they did give us a little more about issue 100 and the road to 100. So basically, let's see here. So the thing behind issue 100, right? So here's the synopsis. News of a deathly threat reaches the team, one that threatens every ranger and everyone else on the entire planet. As the climactic battle against the unspeakable enemies unfold, the lines between friend and foe blur, and difficult decisions await even the strongest of rangers. So I'm pretty sure it has something to do with with Death Ranger, more than likely. Because we've been seeing all of the art for Death Ranger. Which, did we talk about Death Ranger at all? I don't feel like we did.
No, I don't think so.
So let's get into it then. What are y'all thoughts about Death Ranger?
Well, this will give us more backstory on the Omega Ranger, so that's going to be pretty cool. And they're saying that this is going to be a non-binary Ranger, right?
Another non-binary.
That'll be interesting to see how they handle that. But yeah, now, like I'm looking forward to getting more backstory on the Omega Rangers, because they're, we were just thrust into them existing, but we don't really know like how they came to be.
And this is no shade. Because I do appreciate the people going out and trying to support the LGBTQIA+ community. I do appreciate it, but I hear the idea of, oh, another non-binary, and this is the hero, and blah blah blah. I hear that, and I want that, but it's, I don't know if it's the right time to start being picky or to start, demanding more from the comics and from the world of Power Rangers, because I'm like, I just feel like they're playing it safe, if that makes any sense. Like they're playing it real safe instead of just like being as daring as possible and just being like, fuck it, we're just gonna do it, and just like just kill it, I don't know if it's too early for that. I don't know. I mean, we do know that Saban was pussyfooting around with it and being like, well, we're just waiting for the right time, and the right time was going to be never. So, the new team with Hasbro just had to just go ahead and do it because, Saban wasn't. So I'm just wondering, are they just waiting for the new universe to start introducing these things or what? Like, I'm just trying to figure this out because I would love to actually see a gay male ranger, and not just like a gay male ranger that is like, oh, he just pops in for like an issue or two. No, like he's actually on the team, or like a trans ranger, and not even a trans ranger that is like trans as in like, just like, oh, they just have like kind of like almost kind of like skating that whole thing of non-binary kind of a thing. No, I mean like actual trans, like, male to female or female to male, like, not just, oh, I identify as something else, like they actually are whatever else, you know what I'm saying? Because there are differences. Not saying that they aren't, but I mean, I want it to go all the way, like all the way, like Rama 1.5 all the way. You know what I'm saying? Like for anyone who knows what I'm talking about, like, because that I might have just dated myself, but like I just want to see Power Rangers just really explore these worlds and these avenues, because I do feel like it's there, like, because I just don't believe that saying, oh, anyone can be a ranger and the world of Power Rangers is so diverse, but also saying, oh, well, you can't be a ranger unless you're straight, that just defeats the purpose.
Yeah, they're saying it, but they're not actually showing it. And you've been saying this for a long time now. When are we actually
right? And I mean, don't just like give us, like
the bare
don't
minimum.
just give us not even the bare minimum, but don't even give us, well, that too, but don't even give us just like hints, because that's what Saban did. Saban would just give us like these little subtle hints, like, oh, this person might be, they might be a little queer. No. Because remember how they used to do Kelsey? They used to have Kelsey being, a little butch, and just kind of just give us that little, she might be, she might. No, no. Actually make her, make him openly, like, and I mean, of course we have it with Izzy, but it just seems like every female, it's like we're only going to do this with women. We're kind of afraid to see what's going to happen if it's a male. Like we're afraid of the backlash we're going to get if it's a male. Yeah, exactly. It's more palatable if it's, if it's a woman who is, LGBTQ, but if it's a male, oh boy, now we oh boy, all right, So I don't know. Like I feel like, and I mean, obviously, Death Ranger, not Death Ranger. What am I talking about? That's Kill Ranger. Death Ranger, Death Ranger, Brandon. Death Ranger has the physical build of a man. So with him being non-binary, that will be our first LGBTQ male. So, maybe Power Rangers is, going in the right direction. I don't know. We shall see. But also to keep this sad train rolling, another person.
Sad train. Is it though, Brendan? I know you're not sad about this one.
Well, here's the thing. So it's not that I'm not sad, right? It's just that like it's interesting. So Mighty Morphin 22, issue 22. This is also coming from Matt Groom. Matt Groom also announces that he is going to be leaving Mighty Morphin, the comics of Mighty Morphin. So he says, Mighty Morphin issue 22 will be my last issue. I've had tremendous time working with at Moyes Hidalgo. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. Hidalgo. Oh, child, I don't know. I'm so sorry. And Gulo Rao at Ngu Rao and at E Duke WD DW. He's talking about Ed Dukeshire, of course. And the Boom editorial team is bittersweet, but it's been a lovely experience, and the Rangers are in great hands. Now, that means to me, it sounds like they already have new people going forward with the comics. Just that last little sentence itself just sounds like, they got somebody else. Like they got other people doing the comics going forward. So thoughts, because I don't want to share mine first. Like, what do y'all think? What do you think about this? Because I know you like Matt Will. So
yeah, this was a surprise because we're just getting the news about Ryan leaving, and then Matt Groom, he is relatively new because he's only been around for a few issues. So now to find out about him leaving too, it's just like, oh my goodness, what's happening? And I love the fact that he is a fan. He does the Ranger Danger podcast, so we know that he's a big fan of Power Rangers. So it reflects with the things that he puts into the comic, like little Easter eggs for characters from like different seasons. Like there's somebody from Time Force that he has working at Promethea. What else? There's little conversation pieces that I think are leading to what we know is going to happen in the future. Like it's kind of setting or planting the seeds for certain character changes or changes in direction or what they have coming up for them. So I am hoping that whoever takes over has a healthy knowledge of Power Rangers and they're able to what do I want to say? Like, I'm hoping that we're able to get good work that shows off their writing skills and their style, but also it makes sense and it feels like Power Rangers, like we've gotten thus far.
Mm-hmm.
I know it sounds terrible, but I don't really have much.
You haven't read his work yet.
Oh yeah, she hasn't read it. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
I was gonna say I don't really have much of an opinion at the moment, so I don't.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. No, and I had to think about that. That's funny. That's right. But yeah, here's my thing, because I wanted to, let everybody go before I say what I had to say. It's Lena's trying to set it up like I hate him. It's not that it's not that I hate the man. I don't. I genuinely don't.
I'm here to cause drama.
It's not that I hate the man. I promise I don't. What it is like, because I went ahead and I've read the comic. And I'm pretty much caught up all the way. But my thing is, the issues I have, and it could be easily, his style, which more than likely that's what it is. But there's certain things that I'm just like, I'm not really feeling what is given. A lot of the stuff for me is very wordy. Like, it's very wordy. And there are certain things that are spelled out a little too much. He doesn't do that too much, which is great. But he does have a tendency of, it feels like over explaining, which does kind of like make my little brain be like, all right, I get it. You know, so he does kind of do that for me a little bit. But the main things that I do kind of feel are just like, are like just some of his developmental things with certain characters. I know I'm talking around in circles, but you know, I don't want to spoil anything. But you know, there are certain conversations that he has between certain rangers, between certain characters, that just make me head scratch, because I'm like, either it was unwarranted and it wasn't earned, or it just comes so far out left field that it contradicts the stuff that was already built. So I'm just like, like, I see what you're trying to do, because I see what you're trying to set up. You know what I'm saying? I see what you're setting up. So I know what you're putting down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get you. I know what you're trying to do. But it's the conversation and the way you're saying it that just almost kind of make it seem like you're just totally neglecting everything that Ryan and, you know, other writers have built, contributing to what we've already got. So, you know, it's just certain things like that that just makes me go, I don't know about this. I don't know. And so my thing is, I'm like, I'm not jumping for joy that the man is like, hey, haha, you're no longer writing for this. I'm not doing that. But like, I was in that place of like, hopefully it gets better, because I know like it's just his first couple issues. So it was just like, hopefully it gets better kind of a situation. And now he comes up and he's like, oh, I'm no longer writing. It's like, damn it. Like, what is happening? So, you know, it just makes me question, you know, the going forward of the comic community, of the comic universe. Like, are they just getting rid of everyone? Or, you know, just kind of like severing the ties with everyone, being like, all right, so look, we just gonna go ahead and start completely fresh. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, completely just kill it right now. Just start completely fresh with brand new people. And are they going to keep going with the comics that we've already, you know, established, or are they going to completely do something different? Is issue 100 going to be the final comic of this whole entire run? Because comics do that. Like, they will just end like a whole 6-7 year, you know, 5-year thing. They would just end it, you know? So, you know, is it going to just completely end altogether? Or, you know, is it just going to just stop with them, and then, you know, somebody else, a brand new team, just jumps in and just, you know, continues the torch? What do you think? Like, do you think it's going to be that? Do you think it's just going to end? Or, you know, thoughts? What do you think?
Well, I certainly hope that the comics don't end, or even the universe that we have. I don't want that to end. I was thinking and wondering, you know, are we going to get another time jump? Because I feel like we've been in season 2 for a while now. I think it's been like 2 years, maybe. So you know, like, maybe we could go to season 3 and explore the ninja powers and Ninjor. Maybe we could go to Zeo. You know, like, I would love to continue where we are, But if we do change, I definitely wonder what that would look like. And I don't know. I sent you guys a tweet from somebody that talked about the issues with what was it? Promotion for the comics. So like if they go in a totally different direction when they're already not promoting the comics that they have now, but the comics we have now, of course, are familiar because they're Mighty Morphin. Like that could, I wonder if that could affect sales and all that.
Mm-hmm. That's a great question, honestly. I mean, I'm pretty sure that they have an idea, obviously, of like what they want to do and how they're gonna, keep it going, or, of course, what they're gonna do. I guess my thing is what's tricky about all of this is just literally the fact that we have this world built already, and the thing is, it's not unheard of. Like I said, it's not unheard of for comics just to be like, you know what, I don't, we're gonna tell this little piece of story. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do this. We're gonna tell this little story, and then we dip. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not uncommon. Like we've seen it happen plenty of times, where it's just like, oh, we've been building this world and we've been doing this, we've been doing that, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right, we're done. Like so. It's not unheard of, but also at the same time, it's like just the idea of just like everybody leaving, all the writers are leaving. It's just like it just something just feels so weird. And like I said, that last little sentence that he said, just really kind of stood out to me. It just really it did something. I was like, it just kind of had me side eyeing because it do kind of sound like it's like everybody is just dipping,
Mm-hmm.
Which makes me wonder, like, okay, are they just gonna go ahead and start something just brand new altogether? So I don't know. But the thing is, though, and that tweet you sent about what that guy tweeted, he mentioned about marketing. So Rolliver Queen, our Oliver Queen. I'll just stick with Rolliver. At Rolliver Queen _ that's the tweet I'm referring to. Boom has a lot of work to do if they want the Power Rangers line to stay afloat. Both books are slapping right now, but the lack of promo is killing them. Parrot leaving is another blow. I pray they get another new writer that knows what they're doing, and I pray the marketing gets better. Now, here's the thing, right? When you say marketing, I'm wondering what he means by marketing, because comics marketing is a lot different than show marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And let's also be very clear. As far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, the comics, the way they've been marketing them has been the same pretty much since day one. We get the little synopses of every issue or whatever have you beforehand. So, we know what's coming down the pipeline. We know what's coming. So in terms of marketing, I'm just like, I'm confused. Like, what do you mean? Because like comics just don't market like how they would be on like TV, like, ooh, go read this comic. Like they don't do that. Comics have a very specific way of marketing, and so far from what I've noticed, Power Rangers has always done their comics in that way. They've marketed them, in their issues and, so on and so forth. And they also have like the synopses that would come out. So I'm just like, I'm confused on what you're talking about with marketing. That was like one of my only things. I'm just like, I don't know what he could possibly mean by that. But yeah.
I kind of had I had thoughts about that for some time now, actually. And the thing is, I don't know how comic book sales are right now, just across the board. And I'm not sure how they are marketed. I would think that a lot of the sales are based on reputation, like people, whether it's the writers or a certain character, they just want to go out and get it. So we already know Power Rangers isn't the most popular brand. But in recent years with the Boom Studios comics, in particular with Go-Go, it was really critically acclaimed. So I think that changed the perception, at least in the comic book community. So I don't know how much that new acclaim did with sales, because I think like the sales were pretty good. But I just, as far as like the marketing aspect of it, I don't really know how you do that. Like, do you see ads for comic books and like other things? I don't know.
And that's the thing. Like, that's normally how they would go. Is they would, feature them in like other comics and things of that nature. From my understanding, the Power Ranger comics have been doing very well. Like very well. Like very well. So, that's why I'm just like, I'm confused as to why, marketing would be a thing that, we would need to worry about, because, the comics have always been doing well. So I don't know. Like, it's just, it's, I'm not saying that he's, making an issue, trying to make an issue out of something that's not there. I'm not saying that. Because once again, like, I'm ignorant of of how comic books are marketed. But from my understanding, I've always thought that the comics were always doing well, which that's what I've always heard. So, either way, regardless, the comics have been here for this long, because if they weren't doing well, they would have been canceled them a long time ago. Let's be very clear. So obviously they had to have been doing pretty freaking well. And not only that too, it's crazy because this isn't the first time that comicbook.com has featured our comics before. So we get promotion. Like, it's not like, oh, no one ever talks about our comics. No, we do. So it's just, I don't know. Like, it's just one of those things where I'm just like, I'm not sure, what, like, exactly what they do, but I do know that they do promote them in whatever way they do. I'm pretty sure they do, because if they didn't, they wouldn't be getting any money, So yeah. But also too, I did want to touch on something, because I did notice that you sent us what was it, IG story. I just want to touch briefly on that. The IG story about the baby who was like, who was talking about all the people who had something to say about Hasbro and their toys. That story gave me life. I just want to let the people know. So let me just go ahead and bring it up. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. because I know I saved it somewhere. There we go. Got it. So not trying to be rude or anything, not rude, but not trying to, knock over the table or shake the table. You know what I'm saying? But this baby figure _ insanity had some shit to get off his chest. So, so basically in a string of stories, he's going on about how he feels about the fandom, having so much to say about Hasbro, but don't want to keep the same energy when we talk about Bandai. So he goes, my God, the PR fandom on Twitter, I swear, a bunch of childish, whiny babies who either didn't grow up with Power Rangers or too young to remember and actually know anything about it, Bandai or Hasbro. Bandai had Power Rangers for over 20 years and didn't give us collection figs until the last 5 years, which is true. And when they did, missing paint, no accessories, garbage proportions, their basic figs out of scale, overly muscular, popular releases, all SDCC exclusives. Everyone wants to bitch about Hasbro, but act like Bandai wasn't the worst when it came to their collector figs line. Bandai had a collector line for how many years and released how many legacy figs? And Hasbro has had the line for less years and released triple the amount Bandai did. But quote unquote, Hasbro doesn't care. Get the fuck out. Then he goes, let me not even get into the MMPR figs. With some silver belts, yes, I remember the silver belts, with some with white belts and no painted boots. I remember those too. Some with white belts and painted bolts, all missing even the basic accessories. And god awfully proportions, trash joints, and ugly articulation breaks. But this was all the perfect Bandai this was the quote unquote all perfect Bandai that cared. Do I even need to mention the Zeo Mustard Ranger? The cheddar cheese gold? Yes. Even though they showed us how it was supposed to look. Yeah, I remember that. So then lastly, he says, fans can't even make up their mind because they bitch either way. Give them less figs a year with better paint apps. Quote unquote, why won't Hasbro release more figs? They hate the brand. End quote. They pump out 50 figs a year and 5 at most have major mistakes. Quote unquote. Hasbro hates the brand because they keep messing up. End quote. Even though Hasbro will fix it and rectify it by giving alternate heads or re-releasing the figures with the correct paint, apps, etc. It's damn if you do, damn if you don't situation for Hasbro because people just like to bash the company that actually cares, but was silent when Bandai gave them the bar minimum. What is your thoughts on this?
Well, he did a great job of just telling how much of the people complaining about it, like it doesn't make any sense because they're actually doing more than Bandai did, which is like you just said it basically. So he brought up some great points.
Yeah, and I mean, like, let's be very clear. Like, we'll sit here and we'll complain about them re-releasing certain figures or doing the most with certain figures, this, that, and the third. But I gotta hand it to Hasbro. I really do. I have to hand it to Hasbro. Hasbro has been trying to give us. They've been trying to give us the things we want. They really have been. And have they missed the mark a couple times? Absolutely. They're not always going to get it right, but like he said, like if they really did something egregiously wrong, they'll fix it. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, the white Ranger from Dino Thunder, like how he had that whole fuck up with the helmet. They were sending out replacement helmets. Or for example, the pink Ranger from SPD, the evil Pink Ranger, A Squad. There we go. how her helmet was fucked up and they were sending out replacements for those. So it's like they actually do try to correct their stuff. Like they really do actually try. And it's like, it's really unfair that I believe myself, I do believe that it is unfair that people will just shit talk the brand, just because it's like, oh, okay, well, they're in control of it now and they're not giving me what I want, but you didn't say anything about Bandai. And you can't say, oh, we didn't have internet because, Bandai just left like a couple years ago. Like Bandai just left like 10 years ago. So it's not like, Bandai, we didn't have the internet, So I do think a lot of the hate towards Hasbro is unwarranted and it is unfair. So yeah, I agree with this person. I agree with their sentiment. And I think that a lot of these fans deserve that smoke.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is. Speaking of smoke, let's get into the smoke that Hobby was giving old dude when he stole his song on this episode of Power Rangers Dino Fury, episode 11. Because child, the drama. Thoughts, your overall thoughts.
Can I just say, there is this one scene in particular with Ollie where after they're back at base, they're doing their thing, and Solon is just like, she read like a goddamn fortune cookie thing, but at first no one knew it's a goddamn, whatever. Anyways, what she said, whether or not it was off a fortune cookie or not, Ollie had no right to come at her the way he did. I'm not sure if you saw that or you caught on, but he was ready to like take her head off, and I'm just like, what?
Oh, when she had read him for not cleaning up, and he kind of like was just like, what? Like
no,
he had like this what attitude?
When they were talking about how like the dude stole Javi's music, right? So then he was all like, I'm not ready for this, whatever, right? And she was like, well, by not trying, you've already given up, or something along those lines, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Ollie was just like coming at her, like ready to attack her with this like this gesture, and then he's, I can't remember what he actually said to her, but she looked around and she was like, oh, I was just reading this little thing off of the fortune cookie thing.
I didn't take it as that, like, because like in that line he was just like, oh, I didn't know that after all these years, like you've been on Earth all these years, I didn't realize that you got so much knowledge or something like that. Like it was like he was just like, I took it as he was like, not thanking her, but like impressed.
He
impressed with what she said. I didn't take that as that at all.
No, he was being sarcastic.
I didn't take that as sarcasm. Did you take that as sarcasm, Will?
I don't remember.
To
be completely, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Like I took it as sarcasm with a little bit of anger. Like that's how I took it. Because I was just like, why are you coming at Solon like that? Because like, she's kind of turned around, and when he realized he made a mistake, he backed off. That's kind of how I saw it. Where he was like, oh, okay.
I remember it being really quick, but I don't remember like if it was if it was asshole Ollie.
We can definitely repull the scene. We can pause. Let's repull the scene.
That was delivery. You really that was
Where'd you hear that one?
He was legitimately asking a question, but the way that he delivered it, it seemed it seemed abrasive. Well, but then you can see afterwards, and when she said, "Oh, you left this out," you can see like, "Oh, damn, I didn't mean to do that." So like that, I think that he delivered those lines.
No, I don't think it was so much delivery. I think it was his like action. For me, it was the way he came at her, like the way he like abruptly came over and was like,
"What? Yeah. When I say deliver the lines, I meant like not just saying them, like his whole the way that he delivered that whole performance.
Right.
It did come off like it was like aggressive.
Yeah, right?
Wow.
So
Really?
Yeah, but I know that that's not what he was given because of his reaction after she said he left a mess.
I don't know.
You don't see that?
I didn't even see that. I really don't. I don't.
He's like, wow. You
yeah. It's just the way like
I took it as he was like genuinely shocked. Like,
no,
wow. Like,
no. Like
that's what I took it as. Like, it did not come off like that.
No, I think for me it was like, because the thing is he thought
it's like he's being sarcastic.
Yeah, because I think at first he
that gave me season 1 Ollie. Maybe he's like used to playing him like that, and that's why he did that.
That could have been it. That could have been.
The thing is, what I was trying to say is like, because the thing is he thought Solon was actually giving real advice, not like she was just being a fortune cookie. So that's why I can see.
Yeah, I can see why you felt like that, but I don't believe that's what was intended at all. I think the way he delivered it with his actions, his demeanor, and how he said it seemed like that. And then especially because, we knew that his character was like that at one point. But like I said, when he realized that she was like calling him out on making a mess, he's like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. So like if it was a situation where he was being an asshole, he still would have had an attitude.
Well, no, because I don't think it's so much like, how I'm taking it too is that like, even though she called him up for making a mess, he realized he called her up for the wrong thing is what I'm taking it as. Not that he made a mess. It was more of like, oh, you're reading a goddamn fortune cookie thing of the mess that I made. Whoops. My bad. I was about to like come at you about, trying to give us advice on like not giving up or whatever. But you know what, listeners? Let us know what you think.
Right. Like, let us know. How did y'all take that line?
Because
tell us. What did y'all think?
Brennan and I are obviously on opposite end, and Will is like, I'm just gonna play neutral.
Right. Like I'm not gonna say I'm on anybody's side. I'm just gonna be in the middle. Like, I don't know. Like,
so let us know. I mean, mind you,
so let us know.
There's no wrong or right answer, not at all. It's just we're just curious to see how everyone else took it too, right? Because obviously Brennan saw it differently versus how I saw it, right? So
exactly. So it is. So exactly. Like, obviously, it's everybody has their own interpretation. Which, I mean, I'm pretty sure overall the main point of this was like, I don't think he actually meant for it to be that way. I don't think that the actor, that Kai, actually meant for us to be confused by what he actually meant. So,
but it actually kind of falls into really well with interpretation for this episode because
it does. Nice turnaround.
Yeah. So look at us. Segue.
But yeah. Nice turnaround. No, but like dead ass though, like seriously, like it's very interesting because with this episode, what's so interesting about it is the fact that like one thing I loved about this episode for sure is that they made the same, like the theme of the episode was throughout the entire episode. It was just copycat, but it wasn't so, to me, it wasn't so just, oh boy, here we go again, kind of a situation. Everything just kind of gelled together very well. I didn't really necessarily feel like, this is just over and over and over and over, or we're just copycatting all over the place. Like I didn't get that from this episode. So that's one positive. I really enjoyed that.
I really liked it overall. I don't know why that Blair character was involved again, but I understood why. But personally, it was a filler episode. But I do like the introduction of King Boy. That I was just like, y'all need to come up with better names. But yeah.
anytime we get a hobby episode, I'm happy because I think in particular, just throughout the years, in particular when you have like the other Rangers, somebody that's not the Red Ranger, or I guess like the main characters this year would be Zato and Amelia. So to have one of the other Rangers get focused, that's really cool. And he knocks it out of the park with every opportunity he gets to show us who Javi is. So this was I liked it. I liked it. I was for them bringing that Blair character back. He learned nothing from the last time he was there, and he's still an asshole. And I appreciate that. And I literally
Absolutely.
was yelling at the TV and wanting Izzy and Javi to go up on that stage, and
Oh no,
but
Izzy
unfortunately didn't go
definitely.
into
If Dad
that.
wasn't there, Izzy probably would have kicked his ass. Like Izzy probably would have been like, "Yo, bring that ass here, boy!" Like she was ready to go off on Blair, and I love it. I'm like, you better
Yeah.
defend your brother. You better. And then I just loved how Park Dad was just like, let me handle it. He stole it,
right? And you know what? I do love
it.
how supportive he like did a 360, but also at the same time, I feel that there should have been more of like a development in that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. When he walked up to did he walk up to them before they were at the concert when they were outside?
They were outside. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when he walked up and he's all, "Oh, you're doing great, son. That sounds great." And it's like, okay. You dick eating right now. Like, really? You were so against this boy having this passion for music. You were horrible to him. Mean. And now all of a sudden you down for it. Like, I know we had that episode where like he realized just how talented Javi was. And obviously there's been development since then because that was a few episodes ago. But I would have loved to have seen that development.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that was a missed opportunity because
I don't know.
They really made a polarizing character with Warren Garcia. I think for him to be as mean as he was to Javi, and now after one episode to be on his side, I think I don't like that. I don't like that. Like, they really made at least I think all three of us dislike him. So like it would have been nice to see him earn this turn. But we got what we got.
I don't know. I mean, I will say this. I personally felt like it was one of those situations where I'm not going to say I didn't like it. I'm not going to say I didn't. But, I can see where you're coming from. I guess my thing is, for me personally, I just looked at it as time went on from that moment. From that time, because like we don't know the timing of this. It could have been weeks, hell, it could have been months. We don't know. So, and plus, this was like a couple episodes ago that this happened. So, it's not clear how much time has passed, but on the same token, it's like, yes, it would have been nice to see, but also at the same time, it's like, it didn't bother me because I knew that when they had that conversation and he promised him, okay, going forward, I'm going to try to, be more supportive and all this stuff. Like, I'm pretty sure it was hard. I'm pretty sure it was hard, but, I don't know how they could have written him to, I guess with everything that they're trying to do and how they're trying to push the story along, I'm not sure if they could have wrote him in a way that would have allowed them to say, okay, we're gonna keep this pushing along, but at the same time, get him to a place where he's 100% supportive and is being at that place to where we can be in that moment for this episode. Do you see what I'm saying?
So you know what? I think a way that they could have done it instead of that whack ass episode 10 we could have had a scene with Javi and Dad. You know, I don't know. Maybe he's practicing for something, and then he's like, "Oh, maybe like he'll be hesitant on being judgy and be like, oh wait, like just like show like." The progression, because even then that's some time between that episode where he started to accept Javi. Like we could have seen just like one scene where maybe he's a little hesitant on judging him, and then like just a scene, like they could have done that. I hated that last episode.
I don't know because how would that would have worked with the show? You see what I'm saying? Like, how would that would have worked? That just a random one-off with like, oh yeah. Now the only way I could have seen that working is it would have had to have been the way with my brain, it would have had to have been him saying it. Like it couldn't have been a scene between those two. I don't see that working, especially not with the episode before that. I don't see that working because that episode was so concentrated on between Izzy and oh Lord, I'm about to call him the wrong name. Ion. I'm about to call him Aiden.
Yeah. Like
it was so fixated between those two. I don't think that would have worked.
Yeah, I think no. Like I'm saying, they shouldn't have done that episode. It should have just been something completely different. Like maybe another hobby focus, or or one of those shared focuses, or just like like sometimes we'll have a scene where it's not about them, but it's just to have the character in there, and then like you're telling the story. Like they could have done something, but
I don't know. I don't know, Will, because like I said, like with the episode that we already got, say for example, like if they were to go ahead and just like not do the episode at all, which I don't think they weren't going to do that, but like with what we already had gotten, like there was nothing that we could have used. I mean, the only thing that I could have with what we have, the only way that I could have seen them actually go, okay, this is how we're going to include some sort of growth, is if Javi actually said, hey, X, Y, and Z happened. Or, kind of gave that thing of like, oh, Dad actually, accompanied me to the place today to hear me sing, or something like that. Like, just kind of like giving us the thing of like, oh, he's actually being supportive now. So that could also lead into the next episode of him, coming up and being like, hey, how's everything going? Kind of a situation. But that's the only way that I see that working, because, just with what we have, not retooling anything or dropping any episodes out or whatever, with what we have, that's the only thing that could have worked, and that would have been something that we actually hate for the most part, unless it's done correctly. Like, we hate the idea of, people saying, like, people telling us things versus we actually seeing it for ourselves. So, that was the only other option, in my opinion, that we could have gotten. Like, I don't foresee that.
So, on a slightly off topic, that lady, the white lady with the cowboy hat, she needs to readjust her facial expression. She was just not having it.
I think that was a part of her character. That was the whole idea.
I know, but that's what made it funny the whole time. I'm just like, you're trying way too hard to look like you're unimpressed. But then towards the end, she gave like a slight smile, but I love how she kept her facial expression like still in place.
I actually I didn't have a problem with that at all. I thought that was great. Like,
no, I liked it, but I was just like laughing at, I guess she was really overacting for that character, right? And I was like, wow.
I don't know. Like, I just felt like that was the idea behind it, to be honest. Because I mean, she To me, she really was trying to sell Simon Cowell.
Yeah, that's true.
She was trying to sell
true.
Simon, and that's Simon all the time. Simon just has that deadpan, like shit-eating face. Not even shit-eating grin, but just a shit-eating face. And like, that's just what he does.
That's
and like,
true.
I don't care how great it is, he's always going to have that facial expression. So that's what I thought she was selling.
And that shade they were throwing at Pop Pops. Oh, that's why they call him Pop Pop.
Oh.
That was not nice. That was so mean.
That wasn't nice.
That was so mean. Like, oh my God, that was so mean. I'm not gonna lie, the song was okay, but like, that was so mean though. Poor Pop Pop.
I mean, Pop Pop was up there doing his best.
See him again.
He was up there doing his best. He said, "Look here, I'm gonna give y'all a shot."
We've seen him a lot. I mean, that's a surprise, a pleasant surprise, because I actually like that character.
I like it. And I love how he's like in almost every single little bits of like their daily lives, you know?
Mm-hmm,
right.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I really do think that he's going to be important, you know, going down the line.
Well, especially if our theory on King Boy and King Queen is really Amelia's parents. Ooh.
Listen, I'm excited because we actually got to see a little piece of Void Zaddy become
Void King.
Void King up in this bitch. And
something.
He beat the dog shit out of him. First of all, like I ain't never seen the Rangers get their asses beat like that this whole season.
Yeah,
like,
they demorphed. That was a bad beating.
He beat the dog shit out of them. I'm like, damn. Like, I wasn't expecting that. Especially how he, first of all, out the gate, he chose violence. When he kicked Ollie so damn hard, he knocked out a morph. Like, dude just went flying. I'm like, oh God. But the one that got me was when he grabbed Amelia and threw her into the wall. I'm like, yo, hold on. Power Rangers, what is happening? Like, I loved it. Like, I was like, now see, we need to get back to those kind of beatdowns, because Power Rangers ain't did that. They didn't do that kind of beatdown stuff in a couple years. Like, it's been a while since we seen the Rangers get their asses handed to them like that. It's been a while. So I enjoyed that. What did y'all think about the look, like how he looked and stuff? Like, what did y'all think?
I don't like it.
Me neither. That design is ugly.
Well, you know what? Something that got me, and I didn't like this, is he let them know that he was Tarek, and they no-sold it. Like they're like, oh, Tarek, but it's like no urgency in trying to help him, because he showed that he actually isn't a bad guy, and you know this was done to him. And so like we took time to establish that, and establish the fact that he's not an enemy.
Right.
But now, and like they watched him be kidnapped, and then that just, I guess that makes the energy and the reactions in this episode kind of make the reaction to him being kidnapped in the last time that we saw him, or they saw him, make more sense, because it seemed like they didn't care either.
They didn't give a shit.
But like, damn, that's really messed up. Like this, he was kidnapped and then he was brainwashed and changed into this new form. And there's no sort of like, oh no, poor Tarek, we have to help him. He helped us. Like nothing like that. I didn't like that
at all. Now that is something I did not notice, but thank you for bringing that up, because I didn't notice that. But yes, you are exactly right. Like, you know, Ollie brought up the fact that he was like, oh, like, wait a minute, you're Tarek, you know? And after he explained, like, you know, Void Queen, you know, showed me the error of my ways, which literally, like, lets you know right there he's being brainwashed. Like, that's just literally what it is. Like he spelled it out for him.
But yet
nobody.
Nobody, like even when he was kidnapped, they did nothing to try to help him.
Exactly my point. Like
they never even mentioned it. Was that the last episode or the episode before that?
The episode before that, yeah, episode 9.
So 9. So yeah, they 10. They didn't even mention him being gone or wondering how he is.
Well, they did mention it, but it was like a one-off.
They did.
Yeah, they did. They mentioned it. It was like
there was
though.
But there was no sort of like, oh, I'm worried about him or poor guy. There was nothing like that, right?
Nothing like that, no. Just kind of like, oh, who was that other person and why did she kidnap him? Kind of a thing, but not so much like, oh, wow, like what happened?
They spent like 3 episodes, I believe it was like 3 episodes, establishing that he is not a bad guy. He just wanted to help his wife. And he was going to help them because he's worried about his wife. And he wants to, heal her and get her the hell out of here and get off of Earth. And after all of that, you're not going to have any sort of remorse or any sort of connection. And then also one more thing. The thing with Zato, they made such a big deal out of Zato not trusting him, and then he gained he earned his trust. So now, like, he doesn't care. I don't. Why would you even do all that?
So here's my take on it. I feel as though even though that was his storyline, they're not quick to believe him because the fact that he did horrible things in order to get there. You know, the ends don't justify the means, or whatever that saying goes, right? And,
they could have, if that's the case, then they should have like said that. They should have let us know that's how they feel, because that's after Zato finally accepted him and believed him and trusted him. It seemed like they were cool. I'm not saying friends, but it seemed like they were like, okay, I see what you're doing, but like they didn't establish.
Well, the thing is, I don't think Zato actually trusts him. I think he trusts him in that moment in time because he was desperate to help his team. I don't think Zato genuinely trusts him like entirely, because he is also aware that like he is the bad guy. We don't know if he is telling the truth or not. We don't know if this is like a play that they're doing, you know? So I understand in Zato's point of view where he's like, okay, up until this point, you proved to me that you can help me with my team, but that doesn't necessarily right all the wrongs that you've done.
Yeah, the way that they played it, it made it seem like I don't want to say this. The way that they played it, it made it seem as if, yeah, what you said was right. Maybe like maybe like oh my God, the second and third time that he worked with them. And then there was a time where he worked with them and it looked like he wasn't on their side, but then he proved, yes, I am on your side. The fact that they did that and they established like this guy is not lying, he's actually only here to help his wife. I need actual lines of Zato saying, even though he helped us twice and he really made me believe from this time, I still don't trust him. I need that. He didn't say that. Mm-hmm. So the way that they played it made it seem like he trusted him now.
Yeah. I agree. I agree with that. I 100% agree, because let's even go back. Let's even go back and review. So on that episode, episode 9, when he went through this whole thing of not believing Void Knight, like at all. He went through this whole thing of not believing Tarek, being like, I don't believe you, you're a liar, blah, blah, blah. And then seeing for himself, oh, he's right. Remember, he went through this whole thing of this, oh man, I was wrong. And went through this whole apology, feeling all sorry and all stuff like, oh man, I'm so sorry. And, doing all of this, all this yin yang, just to turn around except the night morpher from Void Knight, accept it from him and take over and be like, I got this, don't worry. And then, so it's obvious with Tarek being like, I'm going to tell you guys everything. Thank you for trusting me. And then get kidnapped for them to just stand there and be like, okay. Then literally go into the next episode, mention it one offhandedly, just randomly mention it. Don't even really think too much of it. Then get into this episode and then be like, Tarek, I thought you were on our side. And then Zato just go ahead and go straight into, okay, well, he's the enemy. Now let me just go ahead and fight him. I see what you're saying, Will. I do. Because I have to agree, because it's like how 1 minute it was like, oh man, like I feel bad because you were telling me the truth the whole time, to I don't even care about helping this man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like everything that we built, like you said, like everything that we've built up to this point is out the window now. Like it's not even there. It's like none of this stuff ever even happened. So what was the point of us even going through all of this if you were going to treat him this way to begin with? You might as well just went ahead and just, honestly, what they could have done is they could have just went ahead, had Zato defeat Void Knight, make him lose his armor, take the Night Morpher away from him, and become the Red Knight or whatever Ranger, and call it a day. Like, we could have easily had that if we're going to treat Tarek this way. We could have easily had that, but they went through this whole thing of trying to make everybody seem so sympathetic towards Tarek, just to turn around and be like, oh, well, he's Void King now, so let's go ahead and kick his ass. Like, so no, I agree. That was a poor setup. I agree with that. But yeah, anything else y'all noticed or that y'all liked or disliked? Now, I have one, but I'm gonna save it.
Is it the song?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that was the next thing.
Here's the thing. Now, I will say one thing that I thought that was really cool was that with Lena brought up the woman in the middle. Now, of course, I'm pretty sure y'all picked this up, but their names are literally the writers of the show. Of course.
When I saw Becca, I thought of Becca Barnes. That was what they were doing. Okay.
Yeah, like all three of them were the writers of the show, because you had Simon, which is dude from the right, that's Simon Bennett. Becca Barnes, Al Wendell is the black guy. So, that was cute. I was like, oh, look at that. I like that. Now, the song I'm referring to, I'm talking about Mucus. Is that the one that you were referring to?
Oh, no. I was going to say...
oh, okay.
Oh, my God. Javi. His song, he did the same exact song that Old Boy stole. Mm-hmm. They told him to come up with another song, by the next day. So we're on the next day. And he sang his original song, but the only difference was he played all of his instruments during the performance. But it's like, no, you're still singing the same song.
You should have lost.
And you should, yeah, and
you should have lost.
Yeah, because
You know what I feel? Because there was no rules that said that you couldn't sing the same song.
Once again, the way that they played it, you had to create your own song, and the best song won the contest. That guy stole Javi's song. He had no proof that he had written it beforehand, so he couldn't fight. So they said, make another song about tomorrow. He didn't make another song about tomorrow. He sang the same song, even though that was his song. They don't know that that's actually his song.
To be fair, he added more to it, so therefore he made it uniquely his.
He added more lyrics?
No, he added more instruments.
The instruments, yeah.
It's the same song.
I don't care.
I agree.
That was sloppy. More sloppiness.
I thought that too, Will. I said the same thing. I was like, wait a minute. I thought they said that. I thought it said it created a different song. Why would you sing the same song?
And why would you, once again, why would you set that up if he's not going to do it?
If he's not going to do it, right. No, like I agree. I agree. Yeah. I said the same thing. I was like, now what I will say is of course, Hobby's version was more impressive, obviously. Like Hobby's version was way better. And I think that's why he probably won. But still, he still should have been disqualified because the whole thing was you can't sing the same song. That was the whole thing. Now, if they just said, look, you can perform, the day after tomorrow, just, whatever, and not say, hey, you need to come up with a different song, that would have worked. It would have made more sense. But he got there and sung the same exact song. He should have been disqualified, to be honest. Like, he really should have. Should have been disqualified. Now, had he, changed it, instead of saying spotlight, stand under my street light, something like change the word, or
That's
something, stand in front of my selfie light, or, something.
No, that would have been.
I don't know. Like, like if he did that, then, I mean, obviously they couldn't have, because it was a different tune. Like, he changed the rhythm of it. He did change the rhythm. And all that. So it could have worked if he would have changed the word spotlight. They probably would have been a little more lenient. I don't know. But, I don't know. Like, but I can see what you're saying, Will. I kind of thought that too. I was like, wait a minute, he should have been disqualified. But the main one that I was talking about was Mucus. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, when I first saw this episode, I cackled over, and I watched that scene like a good 3 or 4 times and was hollering because I'm like, I cannot believe y'all interjected this moment in this episode. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure when they were going over the footage of Ryu Soldier, I'm pretty sure they were like, they saw that scene and was like, we gotta use this. And the way they did it was classic.
That wasn't that wasn't Power Rangers footage?
Some of it wasn't, no. Some of it was Ryu Soldier footage.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. The only part that wasn't Ryu Soldier was when Wreckmate and Slither popped in. That was the only part that wasn't. Oh yeah, and when, of course, Mucus blew up. Those 2 scenes weren't Ryu Soldier footage. But the actual opening dance part, that was all Ryu Soldier.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Learn something new every day.
Yep. So, yeah, I was like, wow, y'all actually use this. I screamed. And it's the song, too, behind it. I'm the baddest girl in town. We get all around. I was like, oh, I love this. This is great. Oh, love it.
I really like her.
I love Mucus. I love
Interestingly
Mucus.
enough.
Like, even though literally Mucus is a ripoff of, the little character from Dino Charge, like, I love her. Like, she's so adorable. And they just keep doing terrible things to her.
All right.
Like, honestly, and they didn't do this for Ryu Soldier, but I want them to do this with Power Rangers. I want Mucus to get upset and be like, fuck all of y'all. And just like turn into this like uber crazy sporix that just go ape shit on everybody and just try to like kill everybody. Like, that's what I want. Like, I just want that to happen so badly because the way they treat Mucus is sad. Like, they really do treat Mucus really bad in this show. I'm like, damn, y'all ain't got to do this poor baby like that. Y'all ain't got to do her like that because they are forever blowing her ass up.
Yeah.
But but no, like that was like the highlight of the episode for me. Like that part was great. let me see what else. I'm trying to think what else in this episode was really good. Oh, what did y'all think about Zato's and I had an issue with this. What did y'all think about that Zato and Javi's little practice battle?
I thought it was cute.
I
didn't like it.
I thought the plan could have been better.
It's not even that. But go on. Well, go on for what you mean by with that.
Like it was. So we established in the beginning of the episode, one of the sporks, one of the generals, I forgot which one. They suggested that we copy things. Was it mucus? They suggested
definitely mucus.
Yeah, it was mucus.
Okay.
I thought they were gonna come up with a whole new team of Power Rangers, like they did in all the other season.
Right. Yeah. So she suggested to Void Queen that they copy things. So they what's his face? Former Void
King.
Void King.
Void King?
Yeah. He
too many voids in this bitch.
Yeah, he was able to copy Zato's Dino Knight slash thing.
Kamen Rider Dragon Knight.
With his armor. He was able to copy the move, and then that beat him up pretty badly, so he had to retreat. So Javi came up with the idea of how about because Zato's like, how am I going to fight somebody who has the same style as me? And then what's his name? Javi said, we could just train, like you could train against yourself. So he used the new morpher to transform into Zato's new night form, and they practice each other. And I don't know. I thought that they could have done something different. Like maybe they could have had Javi, and since it was a Javi focus episode, maybe he could have actually morphed into Zato, and he has a completely different fighting style. And then they could have tried to do it that way. But like he still would have been able to copy the move. So I don't know. That was weird to me.
Here's my thing. Here's the problem I had. I knew what they were trying to do because they were trying to use the footage for the Ryu Soldier footage. So I understood what they were trying to get at. I understood it. My only issue though is the fact that it's like you had Javi use the little night morpher, the Dino Night morpher. You had him use that, and he literally became you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking, okay, he's in his Black Ranger form. So if you're going to turn him into a Dino Night Ranger, he would be, the armor would adjust itself around the Black Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what I'm saying? I was just like, why does he literally look like Zato if the armor is supposed to adjust itself around the wearer?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that doesn't make sense. So I'm sitting there looking at him like, and that just like, I don't know, it bothered me. And maybe it shouldn't have bothered me enough to take me out like that, but it really made me side-eye that whole fight because I'm like, why would you have this? Like, it just didn't make sense. Now, if they would have taken a random dino key and been like, oh, let me make a copy of Zato's power, because they be having these random ass keys all over the fucking place.
Mm-hmm.
Random key for everything. been like, oh, okay, well, let's use this key, and he copied Zato's key, turned into the red, the red Dino Fury Ranger, and then use the power, then I'd be like, okay, I get it. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense because only the Red Ranger could utilize this power, kind of a situation. But just to have him use the Dino Knight Morpher just to become Zato, I was like, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that because anytime anybody else uses the Battleizer doesn't turn them into a Red Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
It just morphs its way onto the wearer. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, that didn't make sense to me. I was like, I don't like that. Did not care.
I don't like the. Yeah, I guess that was another like more sloppiness for this episode.
Yeah, that was a little too sloppy for me. I didn't care for that. And I was like, I see what y'all were trying to do, but nah, that was too sloppy. That I didn't like. I didn't care for that. So yeah. Other than that, I did like how they used the footage with Void King. I did like that. Yeah. Does anybody else have anything else they wanted to add before we go ahead and rate this episode?
Nope, I'm good.
No Megazord battle.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Yes. Look at that. You do not need that every episode.
You do not. And I am happy for it.
Yeah. I am. But I enjoyed this episode for the most part. Like I said, anytime that Javi gets a focus episode, I'm happy.
Same. I enjoyed this episode too. This was like probably one of my more favorite episodes. But let's see number wise what it's given. I'm gonna give it a 4.5.
4.
Damn. The sloppiness that I mentioned with this episode is going to affect my score because as we're going through, it's like, oh damn. Mm-hmm. I don't want to give it a 4. I also don't want to. I think 3 is kind of. I'll do maybe a 3.5 for this one because I really like the fact that Javi got focused. And there were some nice moments. I like I hope that they don't redeem Blair and that he just stays an asshole because that's how things are in life sometimes.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think I'll give it 3.5.
Yeah, I mean, and the reason why I gave it what it was because honestly, thinking about it, I was going to give it kind of like a 3.5. Or something like that. I was going to do that because there was a lot of inconsistencies. There were a lot of things in this episode that just made me go, ugh. Like I'm not gonna lie, I kind of grimaced a lot in this episode. But overall, it was just one of those episodes that just I enjoyed so much. And I think that for me, the mucus part was what elevated it to the 4.5. Like because originally it could have been a 4. But Mucus elevated it to the half. Like, I was just like, that last part.
Mucus is literally my favorite character. She is awesome.
One of the best characters in the show. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, that last part just had me crying. Like, I was laughing so hard. Like, my stomach was hurting. I'm like, oh, this is gold. Like, y'all really hit the mark with this one because that shit was funny. So I'm just like, I'm sorry, I gotta, like, I have to bump it up. I gotta bump it up.
And then the fact that, like, she convinced all those foot soldiers to do the dance.
Right! That's the real tea. She convinced them to dance with her.
And I love how, like, the other two were upset that she didn't tell them about the competition. Versus the fact that they're like, what the heck is she doing wasting time? They're like, why did she not tell us? Like, what the fuck? I thought we were friends.
That's basically how they did it.
No,
That's exactly how they reacted.
No, I'm not here for this. I'm gonna blow you up, and that's what they did.
That is exactly how they reacted. They were like, "How dare this helper not tell us that she was going to do this? Like, wow, that's fucked up." Well, you know what? Let's just go ahead and blow her ass up. And that's exactly what they did. It's just like, wow, y'all are petty.
I love how they're like, that was interesting. Okay.
But girl, it's the people's reactions. It's everybody's reaction to her getting blown up that just sold it. I was like,
ooh, before I forget, one more thing. I love how what's her Jane, right? Is that her name?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love how in the beginning of the episode, when Blair claimed that was his song, I love the shade she threw at the end.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was Blair with the song that he claims to be his own.
Because I'm pretty sure she done heard Javi sing that song too. I'm pretty sure. She heard him sing that song before.
I just love the shade that he claims.
That is his.
Sorry, just had to throw that in. Now that you're mentioning mucus, I'm like, right, that was another thing I really liked about this. It was just like the random shades for no reason. And like, just all of this, these little knickknacks that really bring the show together. I love it.
Oh yeah. There was a lot of things in this episode for me as well that just made me go, you know what? This is a good episode. Like I couldn't. That's why I couldn't give it anything lower than what I gave it, because I'm just like, yeah, it had a lot of inconsistencies. It had a lot of problems. But for me personally, I'm like, I could kind of overlook some of them. I can overlook them because it was like, overall, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot more than some of the other episodes. So yeah. We are officially done with Dino Fury until Dino Fury comes back, which we do not know when, so don't ask us. We do not know when. So, you know, maybe hopefully soon we find out. You know, maybe we'll find out during Power Morphicon when they're going to bring them back. I don't know. You think they're going to tell us during Power Morphicon?
I think so. I would even wager maybe on the 30th anniversary date, or excuse me, the 29th anniversary date, the 28th. I would think. I don't know why. I guess I'm thinking that because that's when they did the 25th anniversary episode, 25th.
Mm-hmm.
Back in 2018.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess we'll see.
Well, we shall see. We shall see. But, you know, if you, like Lena said before, you know, if you guys, let us know what y'all think in that scene with Ollie. Let us know what you guys think. Tell us if you think that Ollie was out here, you know, being rude to Solon, or if, you know, how did y'all take that scene? You know, let us know.
Or Solon. She always be getting all the backhand for no reason.
She does, though. She does. Like, and it's unfair.
It's so unfair.
Like, why y'all treat that dinosaur like that? She is just out here doing the best she can.
If anything, I think she's doing better than some of y'all can. Just saying.
I'm just saying. Okay.
Wait, what you say?
I said that if anything, I think she does. She can live life a lot better than most of you can. Just saying.
Yeah.
Like, remember that one time she had her like self-care day? I'm like, so long. You. I love it.
She is living her best life in these streets, and they trying to give her a hard time.
Right. Poor Solon. I love her. You know, we need a Solon character, like a little figurine.
We do, actually. Yes.
I wonder. I'm surprised. I guess I'm not surprised that they didn't do it, just because, you know, we did get an alpha figure, but I don't know. I wonder how well that was sell. I wonder if that's what they were thinking about. But like, she's a dinosaur.
Dinosaurs sell. And even if the kids don't recognize from Power Rangers, it's still a dinosaur. They're probably like, ooh, robotic dinosaur. Mama, I want that.
Exactly.
So just saying.
That is a good point, Lena. That is a very good point. Like, she is a robotic dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see why we don't have her. That's a good point.
Oh my God. If they have her in, like, one of those doll size and she speaks, she's mine.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh my
Especially if she says something and she's like being shady.
Yeah.
Like, that'll be like even better.
Right?
Like, she's have a couple shady lines that she says.
Right. She's coming home and she's definitely gonna be like, what is it called when you have like people over and you show off the pieces that you have in your home, or that's like your main piece?
Like a display, or
like no, like not like a display, but you know how like I hate when I'm like words are escaping me, but you know how like most people, or maybe not all, or some, they have a certain piece in their home that they like to show off when they have guests over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's a word for it. I know there is. I just can't think of it right now. But anyhow, she will be like my main attraction if I do get her. If they do have her. She'll be front center at the door saying all the shady things.
Right. Like, just touch her and just let her just be shady towards you. Absolutely.
Right? Oh, even better if you can record, like, or you can like program her to say what you want her to say. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
First
yeah.
of all,
adult versions of us will love this. Are you kidding me? Hi, welcome to da-da-da. Please do not forget to take off your shoes. We are not a white family. Thank you.
Wow.
Just saying. Take off your shoes at the door, please.
Or don't put your shoes on the furniture.
Yes, do not step on my bed with your shoes on. Thank you.
Because people be doing that. What the hell?
People do some wild
They
shit.
do. I'm like, that shit is just disgusting.
Like, do y'all not have any home training? Is this how y'all act at y'all house? You nasty asses.
Right? No, thank you. Mm-mm.
Just nasty.
Mm-mm. And then or have her randomly in the bathroom when people are there. Please flush and wash your hands before exiting the bathroom.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh my
Listen,
God.
that is a big pet peeve of mine. The way I be seeing at work, I will see somebody walk their ass out the bathroom, and I'm like, I know you did not wash your hands because you literally walked in and walked right back out. I know you didn't wash your hands. You so nasty.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, she could replace my Lexus. Thank you. Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Well, that's just like with the Ninja Steel communicator. Like, you have Mick, like, he talks from the communicator. So like, I thought, like, that's so cool. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I know people are probably like, why the fuck do you have that? Listen, don't judge me. I have always loved the Ninja Steel communicator. That's the best thing about the show.
True. It's true. Brennan's always talked about it from day one. That's something he's
okay. Because it's okay. Lena will tell you. When they first introduced that toy, being like, "Oh yeah, this is a thing that's going to come out."
Oh yeah, Brennan's
I told Lena right then and there. Okay, I told Lena right then and there. I was like, I want it because this thing is awesome. Like, I love the design. Granted, other people have told me, it is the ugliest thing ever, and I should not have bought it. But you know what? I don't care. I bought it anyway. Even though I had to buy it off of eBay from Japan, but hey, I still got it.
I remember it took so long for you to get it too.
It took forever to get that damn communicator, but I got it, and I'm like, yes, it is mine.
Worth it.
It was so worth it. The time, the money, it was worth it. So listen, I don't care, and I might even wear that Power Morphicon. Fuck with me. I might even wear it. Now I'm not gonna be that person. I promise. I'm not gonna be that person in the middle of a panel, open it up and then you hear Mick talking. It's not gonna be me. I promise. I would never do that.
I still won't forget this one episode where we were talking about going Power Morphicon, and you said you're gonna wear it, and I was telling people to steal it off of you.
Yes, because you're a terrible person. That's why. You are a terrible person. Like, why would you have somebody do that to me?
Unfortunately, COVID hit and we never got a chance to steal Brendan's morpher. No. Communicator.
Right.
See, it worked out in your favor, Brendan.
It did. Hopefully nobody remembers that episode and is like, yeah, I'm going to go and steal this communicator because I promise you, we're going to have problems.
My God. It'd be so funny. That's the first episode they start off with right before Paramorphicon hits.
Right.
I would cry laugh so hard.
Wow. Thanks, Lena. Thanks a lot.
It's like, I'm sorry, guys. That was only valid 3 years ago. That offer is no longer valid. We don't steal. We don't touch each other. COVID-19, please. 6 feet apart.
Okay, back it up.
Back it up. That offer expired.
Okay, that was before. So, don't try it.
I'm gonna try it. Nope. Do not recommend. He will karate chop you.
Okay, literally.
Oh my God.
But all right. So, thank you all for listening. We really do appreciate it. As usual, like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, share, tell everybody about us. And once again, my name is Brandon.
My name is Lena.
And my name is Will.
And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.